Hello folks, this is Best in Slot and welcome to the final video in our Arctic Adventures Planet Zoo campaign. We're going to gold star the park today by bringing in some polar bears, and for that I thought we'd make ourselves a slightly more in-depth polar bear exhibit. It's going to have an underwater viewing section, it's going to have a buttload of decorations to say the least. So rather than our usual campaign, we are going to do a little time lapse. It isn't particularly long, it's only about 10 minutes, the final build was only about an hour or something like that. But rather than cut it up, I did want to show you absolutely everything. And okay, so it's not the most complex exhibit. One thing I really wanted to focus on was, of course, having this little underwater viewing section, but also kind of this the use of the Arctic pack stuff. We've got loads of really cool decorations, all Christmassy stuff and all festive. I know it's now like late January, but I'm still in a Christmas mood. I love Christmas, so I wanted to celebrate that a little bit. Went a little bit cheesy, went a little bit over the top, but had some fun with it, especially the fusion between the desert environment we're in and the addition of the wintry, Christmassy kind of stuff. I think it ends up looking pretty cool. So that's what we're going to do, and then we're going to have like 15 minutes at the end where we'll actually get our gold star, do the rest of the missions, explore the park, hang out with the polar bears, and also reveal the winners of the competition from the last video. So if you did enter that and you were hoping to get a copy of the Arctic pack, I will reveal that later on in the video, or indeed in the comment section down below. So what I'm doing here is just kind of doing our standard layout. I did want this to match at least somewhat the other exhibits we've been doing, which means wood with a brick pole in between. That sounds incredibly dirty. Unfortunately, because these are polar bears, despite the fairly huge size of the exhibit, it's not big enough because they're polar bears. And it's worth keeping in mind that this is not big enough for the polar bears, that exhibit you see right there, and that they reduced the size requirements for the polar bear exhibits by half. So this would be about a quarter of the necessary size. This is about the right size, but only just. So imagine double that, and that's the minimum size for what the polar bear used to have to be. It really was crazy. I see why they did it, but it was nuts though. Anyways, had to go back and sort of extend the exhibit and bring back in my wood. Bring back in my brick poles and stuff like that. Dead easy to do underwater viewing, by the way. You just saw me do that very quickly at the start. All you do is basically, I think this is the easiest way to do it, is to dig downwards with your path tool, select tunneling, and then you just kind of flatten the ground behind it. Put the barrier in from that ground level. And look, in the end of the day, you just saw it in a time lapse. I'm sure anyone who's been playing Planet Zoo up to this point knows how to do fairly basic underwater viewing. Now, what we have to do is put 10,000 coolers in the exhibit, because I do want it to be covered in snow. It's polar bears. I think they can get along with a few other terrains, but I thought it would look cooler in the snow. So we're going to cover basically the entirety of the whole thing in snow. What you can do with coolers, if you're happy with your cooler positioning and stuff like that, you'll see us doing in a minute, because that looks a little bit bizarre, right? So what we'll do at some point is actually sink the coolers into the earth itself. Like they're some Cthulhuan deity. Anyway, so you sink the coolers down into the ground, they still work perfectly well. There is a bit of a limit in terms of height, so if you put like a mountain over the cooler, they won't cool the top of the mountain. You'd have to add another one higher up, and you'll see us actually do that a little bit later on. But the point is you can sink them just a little bit below the ground, and it's fine. Now, there's a cleaner outside my door hoovering the flat, so apologies if you hear that, but it's fine, whatever. The music will drown her out, I'm sure. Everyone always thinks, every time I mention I've got a cleaner, everyone's always like, oh, you must be so rich and all this kind of malarkey. We pay, like there's 4 of us who live in this flat, I do a flat share with 3 other people, and we all pay towards her. She comes 4 times a month. I think I pay about 20 quid a month for the cleaner. She doesn't even clean my bedroom, because I don't want people in my bedroom. But given how messy some of my housemates are, cough cough, she's a necessary evil. Anyways, so just chucking in a bit of a mountain at the back, just wanted, it was looking a little bit flat to say the least. It needed a little bit of va-va-voom. You can see there how that upper reach wasn't cooled at all. It was still showing very red, so I've put a cooler in there as well, put some more snow on there that will eventually be covered up. Just getting all the basics in, all the necessary polar bear stuff. But pretty soon we're going to be doing a lot of decorations. So we're going to put in some ice flows, just sort of like little shards of ice that are broken up across the water. We're going to put some rocks in, and then we're going to put in a buttload of decorations. Now, I don't know what a buttload is in metric, but it's a lot, shall we say. we're going Christmassy. Just wanted to have fun with it. It's the final exhibit, you know, we're not going to be loading this back in. I wanted it to look good still, which is a mistake I've made in the past, not making it look good, but also have some fun with it. Things like these trees, like the polar bear doesn't actually like any nature whatsoever, like it just hates plant life in general. But I think exhibits tend to look very weird without any foliage whatsoever. I'd like to try that maybe, to come up with like a really cool exhibit that uses no foliage at all. But no, not right now. So adding some trees in, adding a few rocks in under the trees, the idea being that the snowfall hasn't quite landed on the rocks there, because that's where the trees are. One thing that I'd really, really like as I adjust my entire body is like a snow machine, because I'd really like it to snow in this exhibit, but I can't do that, and it's never going to snow here in the middle of the Mexican desert. That just isn't going to be a thing. But I'd love it to snow, because I think that'd be really cool for the atmosphere. So if we could get like snow machines, either ones that sort of hang down from the roof and then spray snow, or ones that sort of throw it up, even, that would be, well, we kind of already had that, but like I want one that hangs down from the roof and like just makes it look like it's snowing, that's all. Decided to cover the shelter a little. It was looking a little bit basic, so I decided to cover that in some of the Arctic wood, just to make it thematically fit a little bit better with the whole sort of theme we've got going on here, which is basically Christmas in the middle of the Mexican desert. And it looks nice, it's fine, it fits perfectly well. I'm going to chuck in some of these trellises, and at this point for the remaining sort of 3 to 4 minutes, it's basically me throwing every decoration I can think of at my face. And you know, it's fine. It's cheesy and fun in that kind of way, with still looking pretty good. Some little presents there for the polar bear, a little bit of a wreath, a little bow on the corner, why not, super cute. Decided to put some lights on top of the posts for some reason, don't know why. As you'll find out later on in the video, however, this Mexican desert never experiences nighttime. I put tons of lights in this exhibit. We've got those on there. I'm going to add some more in a little bit. The trees are all lit up, that guy lights up, and yet we never get to see them light up, because it's never nighttime here. For some reason, it's never nighttime in the Mexican desert. Who knew? Next couple of minutes are probably going to be spent on this, but this took a while. I felt it was necessary, but I'm going to be putting down a whole bunch of Arctic fence, just to, I don't know, block off the Arctic bits a little bit from what is going to be a very deserty looking bit. We're going to be bringing in a lot of desert plants, a lot of cacti and stuff like that, and I'd like to block it off and just, I don't know, I just want to do everything basically. And I'll admit it wasn't my neatest work. The fence was definitely a little bit janky in points, but it got the feeling across that I was looking for, more importantly than everything else. I'm really going to miss this campaign. I've had a lot of fun with this. Looking forward to getting back to the main campaign. I do regret stopping that because it's been a hell of a long time. But yeah, we're going to get back to that. We're going to go back to our toxic waste exhibit. I think we just put in a bongo or an okapi. I can't quite remember. It was something. I think it's an okapi or an okapi, as the girlfriend says. I can't quite remember, but something like that. There we go. Okay, fence done. Didn't take as long as I remember. Chuck in some presents, chuck in a reindeer because he's cute. Decided to cover the front of some of the brick with a little bit of ice as well. Again, just selling this Arctic theme, but still in the middle of the desert, which I think's cool. I don't know. I like that juxtaposition quite a lot. Only put it on those front windows. Stuck some lights underwater as well. I thought that'd look really cool at night to have like the ice flow lit up from beneath by these sort of bauble looking things, but of course that doesn't work. Stuck a tree. Stuck a glowing star on top of the biggest tree and put some baubles in there. They're not going to work either. Nothing I've done works. Ah, it's sad. Chucking in some lampposts now. Again, doesn't work. The lampposts in the fence, they do light up. They don't actually require power. The torches get lit. You know, Gondor calls for aid, essentially. But they don't light anything up because it's the middle of the blimmin' day. But still, you know, they look cool. They look Arctic-y, which is an official term. Just don't look it up. Well, maybe do look it up. I'm hoping Arctic-y isn't some weird, deviant, sexual thing that I've never heard of and I've just suggested everyone go Google. Let me know if it is. I'd be curious about that. So, that's most of the decoration done. You will get a better look at this in a moment. You know, I'll show you all this in like slow, well, normal speed in a moment, but really just chucking in a ton of desert plants and stuff like that to really sell the whole feel. Just, yeah, I don't know, keeping it in touch with everything else. I was going to put in our little flowers that we do constantly, but it just, yeah, it wasn't working. It was blocking too much of our view of the polar bears. And that's nearly it, folks. Very, very simple little exhibit. I think if I was doing like a franchise mode playthrough, you know, where we kind of try to build like a successful franchise park without necessarily spending the hours I do on like franchise mode. Wait, no. If I was trying to do like franchise mode more as a playthrough rather than as the big sort of creative projects we tend to use them as, I think this is kind of the level I would be aiming for. Maybe a little bit higher, but about an hour or two per exhibit. Anyways, there's a nice little shot of it, but we will take a look at it in game. We'll spend some time with the polar bears themselves. We've got a little bit more to do. We've got to upgrade all our power to renewable energy, and we've got to get our education rating up and our marketing budget and all this kind of jazz. That's going to get us our gold star. I'll see you guys in a minute. Okay folks, here we go then. Our polar bear exhibit is basically completed. I'll do a little tour because it's sometimes hard to keep up on the time-lapse. I really just wanted to enjoy, I don't know what I said during the time-lapse, I've not done it yet, but I really just wanted to enjoy mixing and matching the desert stuff with the Arctic stuff. We're going to have to come back at night time for sure to see what it looks like, but there we go, just a weird combination of everything, and I think it's pretty cool. Covered our little thing with some Arctic wood and some little Christmas decorations on there. We've got some nice spruces with lights in there. We've got lots of Arctic lampposts alongside, along with the desert flowers and stuff like that. Of course, we've got our Arctic fence. Put a little bit of ice on the front of these, put some lights on there, put the Zoopedia frames in and stuff like that. And we have ourselves a pretty happy little polar bear. Now, things we have to do then. We have to increase polar bear welfare to 85%. So let's get started. And it's on 61 right now. That's surprisingly low. Why is it on 61? Wait, the game's breaking. It'll jump up. It's going to jump up. It's going to be amazing. I need to save it because I'm worried that everything's just crashed. Come on, game. Come on, Planet Zoo. You can do it. Well, I'm not sure you can. Oh, please tell me it auto-saved. I'm going to be so sad.
You know,
Way!
Those polar bears are going to be incredible ambassadors for our cause. Just make sure they don't escape, as that would be quite the diplomatic incident.
Would indeed, my friend, would indeed. Right now, one of our problems is a lack of education. One way to fix a lack of education is tons and tons and tons of education boards. It's not going to be the most exciting thing in the world, but if we just grab these and stick them everywhere, this is what I did last time and it worked. So here in our Mexican Conservation Zoo, we are very, very, very intent about the amphibian crisis, and people must know about it. They really must. For the good of the amphibians. I'm just going to grab a few of these and dot them around in the hopes that this is going to jump up our education rating somewhat. It's a big ass park is one of the only problems. So, oops daisy. Getting it to increase the education rating takes a little bit of time. What are we on? Right, what's going on here? They're fine. Oh, you're in your box. Let's get you out, buddy. There we go. What's going on? 3.2, not bad. And there's a few other things we can do. For example, we don't have any educational speakers over here by our polar bears. So let's grab one of those there. There we go, and we'll put another one there as well. Should be good. Looks pretty good to me. And we can even put one over here. And we can stop hiccuping. And we can put another one over there. Apparently my power doesn't go this far. That's surprising. There's a solar panel right there. I'll just take that out. It's fine. Yeah, are we good? Are we functional? Not a bloody clue. Can't click it. There we go. We are functional. Low welfare is not really anything to worry about for us. It seems really mean, but it is totally okay.
Ooh,
Hey, look at that.
Guest education boards are really doing the trick. I swear, some of the facts I hear the guests excitedly talking about were even news to me.
Okay, so the final thing, ladies and gentlemen, the final thing that we need to do to finish off this gold is power everything in the zoo with renewable energy. We basically need to hunt down our transformers and get rid of them. Our robots in disguise will be no more. So we're just going to swap everything into solar panels, essentially. So where is our power coming from? There's a cheeky little transformer. Let's get rid of that. go. Right, okay, done with this bit. Anywhere else? This will unpower some of the things in the park, unfortunately, because solar panels don't have quite the same range, but we're going to be done in a sec, and that's with the door. Back in a moment. And I've returned from the doorway, so, alright, let's get back to work. There's one done there. What about over here? No, that's renewable as well. What about that cheeky? Oh, cheeky. Come on. Okay. How are we living? How are we looking? That's all pretty good. That's... Oh, no, no. I wonder if there's a way to actually seal these. Maybe in somewhere in the options, somewhere in the... Well, yeah, somewhere in the options. Somewhere. Maybe there's like a little tab that'll show me all our power. Because there's cheeky little transformers hiding all over the place. Interestingly enough, what you could do is actually just remove every power source if it was the final mission you had to do. Now, we're not doing that, of course, because we're professional YouTubers, but you could do that. Lots of things are unpowered, but that's fine, really. I think we might... Oh, wait, no, don't I have to power everything? Isn't that the mission? Yes. Okay, so, new tactic. This is the new tactic. Interesting. Go. Oh, I forgot. I remember doing this last time. We did the same kind of thing, and then kind of had to redo everything because not everything was powered. So what's lacking power? You are lacking power. Okay, my new technique for doing this is a quick way, if you were so inclined, would be to actually just delete everything, essentially. Let's get rid of that grid. That's annoying me. Can I... Do you want to attach onto the... You know what? There we go. Beautiful. Oh, it's... It doesn't count. I can't imagine why not. Oh, there we go. There we go. Come on. Hey, beautiful. It's still being weird, but that's fine, I'm sure. Need to power this little bad boy as well. Where is that little bad boy? Ah! Aha! So we're just gonna go off group. We're gonna rotate a little bit. We're gonna bring that up, and it should... There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Just latch onto there. Not even that unrealistic. Not quite done. A little bit more over here. These little guys need the same treatment. I think we'll do the same thing. Actually, you might sit it on top of there. It looks a bit weird, but that's cool. Weird things are cool. There you go. How are we living? Oh, no. I just saw a little bit more. Okay. Yep, have to get into our little our little tundra zone over here, but that's nice and an easy one. There we go. Is anything not powered? I don't know what this is complaining about. Ah, you know what it is complaining about? I suspect it doesn't have maybe there's no sun, I guess? Is actually the only idea I have. I don't know, let's stick a wind thingy in and see what we can do. Eh? 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 Hey, look at that. Beautiful. Okay. Anything not powered. Anything at all. Oh, yep. There's always something, folks. There's always something. This is the problem. I really wish... You know what would be really nice, actually? Is like a... you know, I was going to say that on that. Like, a research...
Isn't modern energy technology amazing?
Hooray!
Here's us, with our very own North Pole in the middle of Mexico, and it isn't using a single watt of non-renewables. Incredible! Oh, I know how hard it was to get the zoo to this point. But trust me when I say it was worth the effort. Giving people the opportunity to see these magnificent animals up close, particularly those from the Arctic, makes them so vividly real that the guests can't help but empathize with them. That connection is important because if we want to have any chance of saving these species, ensuring that they aren't just some distant legend for future generations, then everyone will have to do their part. These animals, these incredible, noble animals, they need our help. So, you think you've done your part? Or is there perhaps yet more that you can do? Well, that's up to you, isn't it?
Oh, I like that. They really have gone in on the conservation kind of angle. It feels like the game has some form of moral responsibility that I really appreciate. I genuinely do. Like, that idea that, are you doing everything you can? And a lot of people maybe aren't necessarily in a situation where they feel they can help out or whatever, but I don't know, you don't need to give up your money to assist in situations like this. You can give up your time and effort and pick it and hand out brochures and just help out with charities and stuff like that. It doesn't have to cost you a penny to help, basically, to help save these amazing animals. And people value just how close we are to losing so many species. All these animals we take for granted, they're not going to be here forever. They're really not. If we don't do something about it, you know? There's our underwater viewing for our polar bear. You can't really... It's very, it's much more opaque than I expected. There he is. Hello, lovely. Right, so, a couple things before we go, as we watch our polar bear. There was, of course, a... Oh, it's fine. Is that... As long as it's not a polar bear. They're all in the stress, but they're okay. Trust me. Last video, I am inside a bush. Hello. Last video, we did a little competition giving away some Arctic pack keys if you want to play through this campaign for yourself. The winners were the Great Wolf, Cyan Dino, Plataguy, Rivaldo Rodriguez, and Lola Nocheco. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, Nocheco, something like that. It's a lovely name, but I'm not sure that's how you pronounce it. If you want to comment down below, I'm going to leave a little comment pinned if you want to answer that with your Steam name. Do that and I will add you and send you a copy in the next few days. Alternatively, if you don't do it publicly, if you want to PM me on Twitter with proof that you are that person on YouTube, I will send you the Steam key via Twitter. That might be easier, but it's up to you if you don't have a Twitter account, etc, etc. Where's our other polar bear? There she is. That's our lass. What's she called? Ataksak. It's a great name. The last thing I want to do then is we've put lights all bloody over the place and we have no idea what it looks like at night time. So let's check it out. What does it look like at night time? Is this... Why are these off? What's going on? No power? What? How is that possible? Like, I've expressly powered this entire area. That is bizarre. I'm just going to stick in a little solar panel. Huh, weird. I just want to see what it looks like at night time, that's all. Whether there's a floating solar panel or not, I don't really care. How is it only 7 AM? Does Mexico not have a night time? Is that a thing? I can't imagine that's a thing. Yeah, I had a lot of fun with this. Obviously we mixed things up, doing a little bit of a time lapse, but it did take me about an hour to build this exhibit. It's nothing special at the end of the day, but it blends in fairly well with everything else. From above, less so because of the snow and stuff, but hey ho, what are you going to do? 9 AM. Right. Keeper. It's fine. No, it's not fine. I actually got this one to connect again, which was nice, but it looks like we need to add another water treatment. Boo. Yeah, I don't know, I've really enjoyed it. Hope you guys have had a lot of fun with this campaign as well. We will, of course, be going back to the regular Planet Zoo campaign. Where are you that you want in your ideal temperature? Hey, no warnings. It has been a long time since we played it. I can have a little regret about that. I do wish I'd kind of done both at the same time. I think that would have been a better idea. But hey ho, that's not what we did. Next time, of course, there's a DLC and there's a new campaign out. We'll have finished the main campaign, so that will no longer be a problem. He's pooping. 1 PM. So I'll just show you some stuff. We've got a little trellis there. Look, that looks delicious, isn't it? I want an orange. Something about dried fruit is just beautiful. I don't know. I'm a little... Oh, it does. Right, yeah, the snow doesn't quite render at a distance. This is just, I don't know, like a little funky ice cave kind of thing. I might actually make that into an ice cave. Some broken up ice over there. I just really like the disparity between... No inbreeding. Nah. No gabbles. I know. Warhog's breeding like crazy. I swear, back in the day, I could never breed my warthog, but now, what are you called? Ungabil, something like that. Gonna pop out some blimmin' inbred bebbies. That's not what I signed up for. I did not sign up for inbred babies. It's 6 PM. Does this not turn into nighttime? Does it never turn into nighttime? Were all my lights pointless? I was really excited about the lights, and now they don't do anything. This is really disappointing. Okay, well, I guess that means we're finished. Thank you so much for joining me for this entire playthrough, folks. We'll be back later this week with the return of the standard campaign. Remember, we were building in that disused toxic waste dump thingamajiggy. Some pretty cool stuff going to be built there. Cannot for the life of me remember what we were doing, but I guess we'll find out soon. Thank you for joining me. Remember to hit me up on Twitter or indeed the comment section down below for your free key for the 5 winners I listed before. Cheers, much love as always. Bye-bye. Hey folks, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and you want to help support me a little bit more, you can do so at patreon.com/bestinslot. There's a link in the description down below. Every little really does help in times like these, but it's not at all expected, and by just watching the video you've already helped me out massively, and it makes you a pretty cool person, so well done you. Thanks for joining me either way, I'll see you next time.